Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a Cloudy Sheep and we are playing Hearts of Iron 4 as Russia. We just took over most of Western Europe and won against both Germany and France over here. So I think it's time for more fundamental reorganization. So we are in war against Japan and the UK still, and some of their allies, but I think it's really small small faction now. So the allies, it's the UK, it's Greece, well, most of Africa is owned by the Allies, some of the overseas territories, Canada of course, and most of Far East Asia is in the somewhat weird coalition of former Poland. So these are our enemies. We are struggling in the Far East due to the supply issues, so that is one of the highest priorities, and I think in the West we can and should reorganize our forces a little bit. So what we have over here on the so-called German front is a group of 5 armies. Ooh, I see you can get a promotion. Yeah, but you don't seem to be near anything that would be worthwhile. Trickster maybe at some point. Anyway, so we need to reorganize that a little bit. I think our forces are a little bit bloated. We have the first army here, which is still, I think, very good. It has... Wait a minute, why do we have... Okay, so we have 7 guards and 2 rifles. Did we assign a different symbol to guards? Yeah, we did. Not sure why you have that then. Anyway, so the first army, yeah, mostly mountain divisions, and some... Is that all infantry equipment at Type 2? I don't think so. And some elite units, and then we have the 2nd, 3rd and 7th army in this region. We also have the 5th army, which is down here, dealing in Greece. We are right now transferring the 1st army to down here, because I do think that it's a little bit better suited at dealing with that. We are relatively friendly with Bulgaria. I don't think... Do you have any war goals? Has volunteers sent to us, so they're pretty friendly towards us. Although you do give military access to the Allies. Likewise, you are pretty fine. On the other hand, Yugoslavia. You do have... You're justifying war against Bulgaria, so I think potentially we will see a war against Yugoslavia at some point, so I think that's something that we should consider. I think the 3rd army would actually be in a good position to deal with that potentially in the future, so let's place you on this front line. Excuse me. Just on our side of the front, really. And that means that these support units over here, the support group B, will just help protect Greater Bulgaria by now against this Yugoslavian advance. And to be honest, the Italians will need to deal with this by themselves. So I think it makes sense to take the 7th army over here. Just briefly want to go through this. So I want to have a model where we have 2 guards divisions, 50% guards and 50% rifles. The difference, of course, is that the rifles over here are very small, slim unit. It's just infantry with a little bit of support artillery, whereas the guard units are more artillery based. They do have anti-air support. They have engineering and recon companies. So they're much harder hitting. It's 172 soft attack. They don't have quite as much organization as these rifles, so you can see organization is higher. But yeah, significantly less soft attack, and of course no air attack and all of that. Very low piercing as well. So yeah, I think that's fine though. So we want to have 50-50. 2nd army has that, 3rd army has that, 7th army doesn't. You're a bit more geared towards rifles. And then we have the tank army, which I'm very happy about actually. We also have this additional army number 2 over here, which is not exactly doing what it needs to do. 5th army also follows our model. Whoop, what did I do here? Support group B. Oh yeah, you're the one with this who's guarding this front. And you know what? I think we'll just tell you to develop an attack plan. And it's just going to be centered around advancing in the south up here. And maybe along this river. Just so you have some planning to do. Although at the end of the day it might not be something that we really need. We'll probably replace that by the 5th Army actually at some point. So support group B, that's that. Support group A, you are right now, should actually call you a little bit different. You are the anti-partisan. And group Poland, or let's call you East Europe. Yeah. So you're covering basically anti-partisan East Europe. You are covering more or less everything east of modern day Germany. And I don't think I want you to cover this, so just around this area I think is fine. So there's no need to, oh yeah, this area should also be part of that actually. Right, I think that's fine. So yeah, you don't need to guard forts really, or air bases or the coastline. I mainly want you to lower resistance. Maybe got the naval bases. Yeah, I think that's fine. Good. And you're defending territory. Okay, that's all right. Support group C. You're based over here. Okay, so we will tell you to actually garrison Germany and everything that is included over here. So all of this really can be guarded by you, and what I want you to do is reduce anti-partisan, or I want you to conduct anti-partisan activity, and we'll include, so just lower resistance really, and that's all you need to do. 29 divisions, I think that's alright. Good. And what I want to do is change out the template a little bit later on, but that's gonna have to wait a second, because we will call you Anti-Partisan Central Europe. And let's get a new theater for both of these guys. And a new symbol. I think I would like you to use just the pitchfork probably. Come on, pitchfork. Okay, right. And this is going to be called, it's gonna get low priority for reinforcements, and it's gonna be the occupation force. And that's alright. You don't really need any sort of other activity. Right, so I think it makes sense if we were to take the 7th Army over here. We don't really need that many armies, I feel, and we do have yeah, I just think it's not required. So let's briefly think about our anti-partisan units, which are currently these guys over here. 6 infantry, military police, suppression value of 7.2, and the you give a 20% boost, so that's worthwhile to keep in mind. What if we replaced you by, say, oh, is it mobile? Cavalry. Would be pretty expensive. So you would use quite a bit more supplies actually. You would use less manpower, same amount of infantry equipment. Suppression value would go up significantly though. Can we get to this differently though? What if we were to edit this, duplicate this, and add military police? That would be much cheaper to produce. Your suppression value is pretty good actually. So let's briefly see that. So we have 4,500 men for 9.6 suppression. If we were to add 2 of you guys, I think that's a good anti-partisan division. So this is going to be our new standard. Anti-partisans. Good, and you're going to be... Can we name you in a fashion that makes sense? Guard rifles certainly not. Garrison division. Yeah, to be honest, that's okay. Let's call you cavalry, and that's going to be all right. Good. And we're gonna give you a different symbol. Again, the downward facing arrow. Yeah. And you're gonna get lower priority for reinforcements. In fact, oh, I didn't save. Downwards arrow or stomping out. Yeah, let's use the Iron Fist. Cavalry divisions, yeah, that's fine. Anti-partisan, yes. Lower priority, update, there we go. Good. So what we're gonna do is tell these guys over here to in fact change their template. Select all, yeah, and I would like you to be using the anti-partisan template. It means we are using a lot of infantry equipment, but we do have amazing amounts available. You're not all green, so that means I'm gonna put you. Shall I exercise? I don't think it's required that you exercise. And likewise, you guys, we will tell to switch over to this force. Needs more manpower. Needs more infantry equipment, more support equipment. Still, I'm going to be fine with this change. And then the 7th Army. I think the 7th Army has done its job. And there's no elite forces in this, so in fact what we're going to do is we will change your character, and you're going to be anti-partisan West Europe. And we're going to grab you, we're going to give you a different symbol, and we are going to change all of your guys to become anti-partisan units. We'll need a little bit of support equipment, but we'll gain nearly 100,000 manpower, quite a lot of infantry equipment, TOW and anti-air and TOW artillery. This is especially important since we do have way too little artillery. Of course these guys will lose some experience because they have this new role, but that's alright. So okay, so first off, let's take the 2nd Army over here and tell you to not garrison anything anymore. Can I just tell you to stop? Can I tell you to... Yeah, there we go. Okay, that was enough. So, anti-partisan West Europe. You're also going to be part of the occupation force, of course. And then we can tell you to garrison stuff. There we go. Just make sure that there's not too much activity over here. Thank you. And indeed, I would like you to lower resistance. That should be alright. Good. Happy with this. So, the 2nd Army then, which right now is covering all of this. Really? Okay, so let's delete this now. 2nd Army. I would like you to also guard something, but that is only the coast. And you're not actually supposed to lower resistance, but really only guard naval bases and forts. Yeah, I think forts are alright. And air bases. That's fine. So you'll form a defensive parameter here, which is alright, I think. Good. The 3rd Army, up over here. We do get an event about the naval invasion of northwestern Germany, so you're all going to transfer to over here in Hanover. So actually, I think we can send you to Hamburg, and then from there on you'll be able to quickly redeploy against that. Tank Army, you're fine. 1st Army, I think you'll be switching over to the Southern Front soon, or the Southern Front is gonna shift a little bit. The support B group here is fine. Support D, what are you doing? Oh, you're guarding our northern flank against naval invasion. Yeah, I think that's fine. We can definitely live with that. You have a little troops to actually do your job, but I think it's all right. Let's make you guard all of the Baltic coast as well. This area on the other hand you don't really need to cover. Just nothing inland. You don't really need to cover air bases. Just naval bases. And I'm gonna be happy with this. Right. Good. And you're also gonna be an occupation force, even though you're not technically our occupation. Support B will also have to deal with these in a second, but I think once the 5th Army frees up over here, I will send the 1st Army north, and that's going to be fine. Far East Theatre, that's a bit more crucial. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to tell these guys to be prioritized for reinforcements because we want good equipment over here. More importantly though, we are still suffering from so much supply issues over here that it's just not good. And specifically the 9th Army we are telling right now to relocate to this Afghanistan front over here. I think what I'd like to do is in the long-term attack at the British Raj, but I think maybe advancing through Iran is going to be a bit more promising. So what we're going to do is in fact going to tell them to be part of this Iranian front. And does Iran have any victory points except Tehran? It doesn't look like it. Yeah, so your only job is going to be, oh well, over there, one. Oh well, a couple down here. Anyway, your job is going to be to attack that. And of course we're trying to pull them out of here. In terms of logistics, we are still missing a little bit of artillery, a little bit of anything else. So let's briefly check over here though. So you don't quite follow the model, but that's alright. You have a lot of cavalry. We have a little bit lower proportion of guards over here, but I think I can live with that. Army number 1. Oh yeah, okay, so you're just here to guard this area. But you only need 2 divisions to really do this. All of the rest a little bit redundant, so you know what? Also guard this piece, please do guard air bases, yes. But that still leaves you at way too many units, so let's in fact reduce that to 5 guys and you 20 guys. I think you know what? I think we are just gonna disband you guys. Can I disband you just like that? Yes. Okay, so that means we have a lot more equipment now available to us, and that should be fine. And these 4 units, you still have your job, right? Yeah, you do. Okay, that's good. Let's put them to what's here. Let's make sure we get this right symbol. And there's that. Good. In terms of our Air Force. We do have air superiority over here, apparently. Although we are missing supplies. Yeah, all fighter 2s, that's good to see. And I don't think I want to relinquish that control. Over here apparently we do see enemy fighters. We have some support planes, okay, that's interesting. Let's establish a new air wing and let's see how many fighters we actually have. 100, about 100. Let's be optimistic then. We have a lot of different fighters now. Let's take about 200. An air wing of 200. Come on. I hate this interface. And you're gonna be right over here. You don't have a job right now, but I think that's alright. I don't want you to be pushing against the Americans. But please do establish yourself. Right, then we have the tank army, of course. Our most renowned army, and in fact one of the most important. So I think we're going to send you back to Magdeburg. Really? You have some divisions over here? Apparently you do. Yeah, because that should be enough. And I don't think we need you anywhere else. I mean, that will be a possibility to react over there. And then this army number 2. So firstly, the tank army. You've got 7 tanks, 5 cavalry divisions, really? Oh, okay, I think the heavy divisions counts cavalry. And 12 motorized divisions. I think 12 motorized divisions are alright. How many medium tanks do we have? 250. Do we have enough equipment to train more units? Oh, first of all... Oh, okay, we can't. Sorry. I just misread that sign. Can we design more or train more of you guys? How many? Okay, we're starting to lose equipment over here, anti-air equipment. But I think that's going to be alright. So let's produce 5 more tanks. And that should be around what we need. Set you over here. That's alright. There we go. Good. Let's restart the timing. Lots of sabotage going on. I hate to see that. And let's make sure that we are at least repairing the civilian factories, because they'll be the ones that are going to be needed to repair all the other stuff. And I think very soon we are going to be alright, because all of our anti-partisan units are going to come online and help out with this. Yeah, so first let's get all of these guys back online. I think that should be going very quickly. 18th of September. Oh, that's not so quick, but... And we are researching also construction engineering, are we not? Yeah. 26 days, so a little bit more time. We should see a lot of strategic redeployment of various units. Yeah, more or less. What's this? Non-aggression pact from Communist China? Nope, not gonna happen. Insufficient resources. Yeah, we are struggling with our resources a lot. But I want to have a view on the logistics situation first. So, missing heavy tanks. Amassing a lot of infantry equipment by now. Although very probably, even in the Eastern Theater, even something like the 4th Army, even you will probably have a lot of weapons, number 1, yeah. Still around. So we still need to modernize this. Just look at all of this different equipment. Yeah, and more anti-air. Okay, so let's look at our production. As you can see, we are extremely curtailed at all of our trades, basically. Tungsten, rubber, and oil, even oil. Specifically, rubber is something that is an issue. Let's reduce the amount of aluminium we buy, because we certainly don't need that. Tungsten though. Could buy from Portugal. Could buy from Gangsiklik as well. Yeah, but that would just storm through there. Norway? I think, do we have a border with Norway? Either way, I think Norway is a good candidate to buy some tungsten from, because it will probably not hurt us a lot. And then let's buy a little bit more from Portugal. But yeah, more importantly, our production. So what do we actually want to produce? Infantry equipment 2. I don't think we need that many light tanks, so we can dial down a little bit on this. More reinforcements needed for tanks. I know, but in principle we don't need that many more medium tanks, so if you could just let me know how many I actually have. Support equipment is alright, it doesn't really need any crucial resource. In terms of crucial resources, we are looking at our artillery shortage, and that should definitely be alleviated. I think we can dial down on the motorized equipment, right? We captured quite a bit of that. 3,000, I think it's alright if we produce a little bit less of that. So let's dial down on this. And then fighters really should be one of our top priorities, actually overall, to produce. Right, light self-propelled artillery. It's fine if we're not producing any anti-tank equipment. I think heavy tanks should have a little bit higher priority. And you can produce them. That leaves us at pretty much no rubber at all, which is an issue. But not a big one. Towed anti-tank, towed anti-AI, I mean, that's fine. Yeah, but we really need the rubber for our air force. So we need to get more of that. Resistance to occupation. Can I actually get a map mode for that? Come on, lower resistance. Yeah, I would hope that that reduces things somewhat. Far East Asia. Your logistic visit, you have established yourself. The reserve army is not quite critical. The 8th army is alright. The 9th army. You know what, the 9th army should probably... Can you switch down to the southern front? Thank you. So that means that these guys will be a little bit prioritized for the forces. You're moving over there, that's alright. Everyone else is stable. There are some attacks over here, but nothing too critical. Has the 1st army arrived, actually, down here? No, by far not. So, how do we look in terms of construction? Yeah, all of these jobs really should start a little bit more. But we do have a lot of civilian factories going on about this, so... How long? 7th of September? Yeah, it's just 7 days. And then that will spiral out of control and just be on an exponential growth path. Right, let's look at resistance. Berlin is still pretty strong. Occupation policy gentle. Resistance effect, intel to enemy, division attrition, chance to sabotage constructions. Yeah. I would hope that this is going to be reduced somewhat over time. We have about 200,000 men who could be ready to support anyone. 3rd army is moving down here, I guess. Where are you actually? Oh. Yeah, so I sent you over here. I should really do that via train. Let's make sure that there's a fallback line over here that is well defined and you're all part of this. Yeah, that should help. Insufficient resources. Where could we get more rubber? Only really from the Dutch East Indies, and that means a lot of convoys. Brazil, that might be helpful. Philippines. Belgium, oh Belgium. Yeah, definitely get one from Belgium. Dutch East Indies. Brazil, let's get one. And then the Dutch East Indies, let's get 3. We do have the convoys to cover that, but oh well. Oil, anyone where we could buy oil for free? Yeah, let's take Iraq. That's enough, great. And more tungsten. Yeah, let's get more from Portugal. It's a short way. Then more rubber. Yeah, but you see, it's not being delivered because all of our convoys are being sunk. We're using all of the trade that we can, but it's not. Naval route efficiency 5%. Yeah, we really are struggling with this. Just look at all the convoys we're losing. Yeah, it's a tough luck. So that's why I think we need to at some point go down to here to free France. Seems like we are winning a little bit better over here. Maybe the supply situation is relaxing a little bit. No, down here it's still horrible. And up here it's not much better. But you guys are evacuating to over here. Just get over here. You don't need to win this fight. Oh well. So I think the future is a little bit clearer. We will need to build more naval construction yards and so on and so forth. But yeah, for now... What was that? Eastern Siberia. Dangers in naval invasion. Bases in low supply. Naval invasion in northwest Germany. Yeah, doesn't seem to be forthcoming though. You know what? Since we have our tank army over here, I think the Third Army can actually do its job. Get down here. And the First Army? Is it over here? I think I saw it. Yeah, over here. Very nice. So, you guys, you're part of this front now. Very nice. And the First Army, your job is going to be to do an offensive that will capture this area. I'm not sure I agree with this approach, but yeah. Lots of allies over here, but I think it's going to be alright, and that will mean that after a while we can peel off the 5th Army to over here and then get more resistance repression guys up and running. So that's going to be alright. Very nice. So thank you guys for watching, and to see you again next time. Bye bye.